Games because of quarantined players. Good evening, everyone. I'm Claire Kellett. Corey and Samantha had the night off. Well, the show won't go on for a couple of teams in our area because simply too many players were exposed to COVID-19. Russell Kinsall is digging into how schools are trying to stamp out infections and allow students to continue playing sports. Russell's live for us tonight in Kirkwood.
Claire, I want you to take a look behind me. You can see the action is picking up. The teams are practicing. They're warming up. Kirkwood is taking on Parkway Central coming up at 7 o'clock tonight. You know, the Kirkwood football team knows the frustration of having a game canceled. Last year, they made it to the playoffs, but a positive COVID test forced them to forfeit a game, and then they got knocked out of the playoffs because of that.
But where we are today is very encouraging versus where we were about 18 months ago.
Corey Neslich is athletic director for the Kirkwood School District. He's right. This year's football season started on time, and all Kirkwood's games have been played so far. But SLU High School was supposed to host the Roosevelt High School football team Friday night until they were notified the game was canceled because Roosevelt had too many players in quarantine.
You know, it's frustrating that you can't play a game. You understand the circumstances. You always want to make sure the kids are healthy, and there's an issue, and you know, with COVID, and we got to take it serious, and that's what we're doing.
Missouri doesn't track how many games are canceled because players are quarantined, but we know St. Clair High School had to cancel last week's game in Perryville, and the Central High School Tigers of Cape Girardeau canceled its game against St. Charles West. As for Illinois, the High School Association says there were 12 games across the state that had to be canceled last week. This week, 9 games were called off. Kirkwood's Nestle says he instructs his coaches to always be mindful of the safety protocols and that students have adapted well to social distancing during practice and always wearing a mask when they go into the building.
Would they rather not have to wear a mask? Well, of course, but I think they would rather be participating and playing more. So they understand that in order to do that and in order to keep playing and moving in a positive direction, when you're indoors, you got to have your mask on.
So Kirkwood doesn't have a vaccination mandate. In fact, the coaches don't actually talk with the players about whether or not they are vaccinated, but the district strongly urges it, and they have made vaccinations available. And by the way, the Kirkwood School District is hoping that their football team goes a lot farther this year. Live in Kirkwood, Russell Kinsall, News 4.
About an hour till kickoff time. Russell, thank you. Well, as coronavirus